Namaste, Jai Hind. Ladies and gentlemen, when you come here, you don't want to leave this place. That's how tranquil, that's how peaceful, and that's how full of love this place is. And we are at the ashram of Shri Shri Ravishankar in Kanakpura in Bengaluru South. Gurudev, Namaste.
Namaste, Anand.
Thank you so much. And such a pleasure to be able to meet you and speak with you. You're somebody who everybody wants a little bit of. And for you to spare time for us is very, very nice. Thank you so much. My first question to you, Gurudev. Pran Pratishtha is happening on the 22nd of January of Ramlala Virajman. You've played a key role in trying to bring resolution to more than 500-year-long conflict. Can you take us through the process and what you're going through right now, or what you're feeling right now?
Yeah, I got involved in this when our Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, then Prime Minister in 2001, asked me to go and start talking to people and bring mediation. And so at that time, 2003, I suggested the same thing, 5 acres to be given to mosque and that place to be relinquished. And then we continued from 2017. Then you know, though I refused to be part of the committee, mediation committee, because I am not qualified for it. I am not a lawyer. My subject has been science and spirituality, nothing to do with the legal matters. So, but then Gogoiji said, you know, you must, Gurudev, you have to be. In fact, I found out that I am part of the panel in an airport. Can you imagine that? Then one interesting thing I would like to share today is, you know, when this was happening, I was in Chandigarh, and one night at 11:30 I got a call from PM, and PM said, Gurudev, ये आपका तपस्या का फल है, आप इसमें आगे बढ़िए, and दोनों समुदाय का सौहार्द से होना चाहिए. I mean, PM, you know, he had this feeling that everyone should be part of a solution. He had such a concern for the country. I rarely talk to him once a year or sometime, and I don't call him much, and neither he. On one occasion he called when I was appointed as a mediator. Then he said, "Aap kariye, aage badhiye." You know, sabka saath, sabka vikas. This is in his zahn mein hai. He is. It's in his very nature. And even when the judgment came, he very clearly said it should not be seen as a victory over one community, because we are all one.
Yeah.
It's not victory over one, you know, it's not credit to one and loss to someone else. So that the dard, the pain for the people of the country is something that, you know, one should appreciate. And now with this Ram Mandir, which has been a dream of people for so many years, is coming to a fructification, and there is such an excitement throughout the country. People want to be there. Of course, not everybody can go at the same time.
But Gurudev, Pran Pratishtha, what does this mean? There are those who would say Murti Puja is all pumkam, it's wrong. There are others who believe that the deity resides, divinity resides in the deity, and that's why our constitution gives the deity living rights, perennial living rights.
Correct.
So, why is this Pran Pratishtha important?
See, there is a, in our Shastra they say, Manishinam apsu devata, Manushyanam divi devata, ya balanam loshta kashtesho, yanino atmani devata.
Atmani Deva.
The devas reside in the atma, in the self of a jnani. But for bala, for the common people who are not jnanis, or just simple bhaktas, they will find the deity in, you know, in statues, in stone and in wood. And there is a whole vidhan, there is a whole prakriya, procedure for this in the agamas. There are 68 Shaktagama, 108 Vishnu Agama, you know, about Vishnu, Vaishnava Agama, and 28 Shaiva Agama. I have read all that, I have seen them all. I know Pran Pratishtha can be done. See, now there is a big hangama when the mandir is not complete. How can you do Pran Pratishtha?
Correct.
I can challenge them. I can tell them. Now Shri Ramchandra himself did a Pran Pratishtha of Shivji
At
in Rameshwaram.
Rameshwaram.
He did not build the temple first and did the Pran Pratishtha. Now Kedarnath, Bhagwan Kedarnath, Murti has been there from before.
Yeah.
Mandir was built later on. So, a temple can keep building. Yeah, the Garbhagriha is complete. That itself is a big thing. And then when the Kalash Sthapan happens, then another ceremony is there for that. There is a Kumbhabhishekam, like the south we call it.
Correct.
That is a 12-day procedure. Even the Pran Pratishtha, it's a very meticulous, beautiful science behind it. You know, there is Jaladivas, a stone, first a stone is etched and then it is immersed in water for some time. And then in Dhanyadivas, it's put in all the grains.
Grains.
See, where the life is, it's in the water. And then it is in the grain. And then it's in the sprout. On top of it, you put several herbs. First you put mud on the Vigraha. And then you grow some trees so that the Prana Shakti is brought in. Then when the Prana Pratishtha is done and the rays of sun has to fall on that idol. So, I mean, it is mind-boggling if you just go through the procedure that the Agamas have enunciated in a Pran Pratishtha. And I feel it's a wonderful occasion for the country and people of this country, for the whole world in fact, that such a thing is happening in.
So who should conduct the Pran Pratishtha? There are questions about why is the PM the Yajman? Some people are saying Shankaracharyas are not going. So how is it going to be blessed?
Any acharan, there could be some flaws, doshas. But the Guru's job is to remove all the obstacles.
Yeah. True.
The Guru samarth होते हैं, वो सारे दोष को हटा देते हैं, निवारण करते हैं. See, any date you pick, I can show you there are some flaws in that date.
Correct.
There can never be 100% correct muhurta. Every muhurta, whether astrologically or numerologically, in whatever science you see, even karma, any action, there will be flaws.
Flaws.
And if you go on picking up the flaws, you will be nowhere.
Correct.
Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api na tyajit. Gita, Bhagavan Krishna said every karma has some doshas, there will be some flaws in it. But you have to see when the positive things are so much, that weighs more. And the Guru's job is to go and clear any of those negativity or negative influence that must have, that would have or could have come into that place.
So, is there anything wrong with the PM being the Yajman?
I don't, not at all. You know, in ancient days and PM, you know, he is doing so much tapasya, 11 days he is fasting.
Yeah, I wanted to come to the Anushthan also, yeah.
Anushthan, no, I would request him to please, you don't need to do any of that. You have so much sattva, you want the betterment of the people of this country. My request to PM through this media is, please don't strain yourself. You are pure, your intentions are pure, please you go ahead. And the sadhu, sant and tapasvis of this country, they are there to do, we are there to do the tapas and all. He doesn't need to do any tapas. He has to take care, he is taking care of the whole country, the poorest of the poor of the country. He is concerned about the, you know, the nation and the culture. I tell you, nobody has done so much to our Sanatan Dharma or even our Indian culture as our PM has done. I mean, it's not to just put some praise, but it's a fact. We have to acknowledge. Nobody can say, can deny this fact. Yes, as I said, there are many agamas. Many agamas give very different things.
Correct.
Some yagyas, of course, only Dampatis can do. We sannyasis cannot do samyakyas. And some other puja, some other things, everybody can do. And here PM is doing the Pran Pratishtha as representing the whole nation.
Country.
And moreover, it is someone who is really caring for the culture, who believes in it. That is more important. You know, if some PM doesn't even believe in the puja, and he comes and does puja, Pran Pratishtha, that is not good. Here is someone who is deeply in love with it.
Yeah. He's an asthai.
He is an asthai, no, Bhakt. And every year he does Navratri, 9 days fasting.
Yes.
Even if he goes to America, he does it. So, for a Bhakt, there is no rules.
There is no rules.
I tell you, there is no rules.
The other aspect, Gurudev, many people are saying is, why a new Vigraha? There is a Ramlala who was in a tat. Itne varsh tat mein the. Unka kya hoga? Why do you have to bring a new Vigraha, do a new Pran Pratishtha and 5-year-old Ramlala?
See, that Ramlala who has already been there will continue to be there. I don't think they are going to discard that. That will be there. But it's nice to have another nice Pratima too.
Some say he may be the Utsava Vigraha. So,
yeah, there are Charamurti and Sthiramurti, and in a temple, usually both are kept. And that they are doing the right thing. See, if it's a new place, there is a different laws.
Correct.
I respect Shankaracharyas, they have their right, but there are different rules for different. If it's a new place, which is completely new, then you have to bring the Sanidhya, then you have to do a lot of other things. But this is a place which has been there from ages.
Yeah, Ramlala was always Virajman.
Always there.
Virajman there, yeah.
Ramlala was always Virajman. So you don't have to bring some other, energy there. Energy is already there in the place. So the rules are different for them. It's only, it can be called as Punarujjivan of the Kshetra. But that has been done so well.
But do you think this conflict has been resolved, Gurudev? Do you believe that those who are now saying, Gyanvapi, Krishna Janmabhoomi, because you are somebody who spent years in conflict resolution, not just in Bharat, but the world over. For a conflict to resolve, both sides have to be amiable to a solution. But when we see Gyanvapi, when we see Krishna Janmabhoomi, one gets the sense that some actually want to continue to rub it in. They don't want the conflict to be resolved. Let me ask you your thoughts.
There are all type of people on this planet. And if one problem is solved, another 10 would arise. That's the nature of the world. That's the nature of samsara.
Yeah.
So you can never think that there will be a time where everything will be all right. Challenges do come, and samarth log hai, people who are capable, they will handle that. And we have to continue doing it. Yeah, there is no other choice.
Many believe that these contentious issues, especially for Hindus in Hindustan, Gyanvapi, Krishna Janmabhoomi and some others, need to be resolved before we really take the turn towards moving in the direction that Bharat should move, a nation to grow, become Viksit. These innate conflicts have to be resolved.
If that was the case, our central government would have resolved this as soon as they came to power. In 2014-15. That's not the case. We have seen developmental work has began since even before, but then only few years back, Ramlala Virajman, that conflict got solved. So, conflicts keep arising in this country with millions, with so many different languages, cultures and caste. Where is the end to the conflict? They keep happening. But see, with one vision, with one vigor and enthusiasm, that people are coming together now and working together. That itself is something that's unique to India and laudable with the current leadership. I would say some of credit definitely, of course, it goes to the culture and the people, and the leadership also shares that credit.
Gurudev, are Ram and Krishna Kalpanik? Are they imaginary?
Those who say Kalpanik, it is their Kalpana only. They refuse to see the reality. When they could already find in Bet Dwarka all the ruins of so many years. Now, Harappa and Mohenjo-Dar civilization, they found it's much older than 8,000-year-old. Why would you not believe our own history, which has been enunciated in our own traditional Indian systems?
But
See,
Guru-
there is history written everywhere in Indian system as well. Itihasa itself means it so happened.
it so happened. So is it itihasa or is it mythology? History or mythology?
It is history, absolutely history. But see, in history also, there are kavis who can glorify it.
Yeah.
If they could say, someone lived for 100 years, someone, say they lived 1,000 years. This is all the language of the poets. We must see in the midst of the poetry, we should extract the history, which is very obvious thing.
So you're saying you should extract the tattva out of the entire imaginary leap that's been taken or the creative.
I mean, we are artists basically in India. We would like to see art everywhere.
Yeah.
So history also we have not depicted very dry. Even if you see the Mughal history, they've all glorified all the Mughal kings as
Yes.
Indra, Chandra, Devendra, like that.
Yeah.
Right. So the way of Eastern civilization telling history is more juicy. It's more decorative. It's more heartwarming. Because our history is connected to heart.
Yeah.
We take pride in the history.
Gurudev, the other contentious issue is Sanatan Dharma needs to be eradicated because Sanatan Pratha, Hindu way of life, is discriminatory, casteist. We are stuck between Varna and Jati.
I just wonder why don't they see the good things also in Sanatan Dharma? Is only caste system in the Sanatan Dharma? It's a complete ignorance. I don't usually comment on ignorant statements. It's people of ignorance. See, even if you have to say something is bad, you have to go into the depth of it. And these people don't look into the depth of a subject. And they just go on rattling something take mileage for a small, short-term political gains.
But Gurudev, in the US, they are actually trying to form laws. SB 403 and others, using the ancestral law, they are trying to say that people who come from India are ancestrally discriminated. I'm sure you would be aware.
I know, but that has been now nullified. The governor has already, cancelled that law which was about to be made. He vetoed it.
ये रुकेंगे नहीं, and you know that if it enters corporate culture in the US, it will come back to
It's a disaster. It will be a disaster. See, in this country, in Sanatan Dharma itself, among the 1,000 rishis have come from all backgrounds.
Yes.
Even our main Sanaka, Sanandana, they are all Dalits. Ramayana, Mahabharata,
Yeah.
Valmiki and Vedas, they are from that community. So, among the 1,000 rishis, if you count, you can count in fingers, 3 or 4 only Brahmins backgrounds. All other rishis are from all other castes. Even our devatas, even Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva is a Nishada. Nishada is untouchable. So, there was no such rigid caste system like we are being perceived. Of course, in the Middle Ages, it has become much rigid. If you go little beyond, go to the history of our caste system. There has been saints in every caste. They have been honored. And there have been Rakshasas or Asuras in every caste as well. Even Brahmins.
Yeah, Ravana was a
Brahmin. So, Adhyatma is the wealth of this country. And we should recognize that. the world is recognizing Indian spirituality today. It's because its practicality, its time tested effectiveness and relevance of today's life.
Very rightly said, Gurudev, and that was going to be my next question. Is Bharat rising in consciousness, and this pursuit of Adhyatma, is this going to solve a lot of our current day problems? This pursuit for a higher consciousness.
See, everything has a place, and definitely this has place when today the mental health is a big issue world over. 1 in every 3 person are affected by mental health issues. And every 40 seconds, one person is committing suicide on this planet.
Ji.
What is definitely, this is the answer. Meditation, spiritual knowledge, Vedanta, Yoga Vedanta principle is the answer. You know, today's Vedanta has been tod marod karke, it has been presented in all buzzy language, buzzy linguistic quote karke present kar dete hai. One lady said in America, we have sanitized yoga. Sanitized means what? They have removed Om, they have removed Om Shanti and everything. I said, you have robbed the yoga of its soul. It's a dead corpse, it's not just an exercise.
But home is a Hindu word. How will Muslims or
No,
Christians say Om?
that is where, you think it's a Hindu word, then everything is Hindu, then discard the whole yoga. You have to discard Ayurveda. Ayurveda is part of the, it is one of the Upavedas.
That's what they say, no, you teach us, but don't say it is Surya Namaskar. You give it some other name, don't call it Surya Namaskar.
We should get out of these prejudice. We should be broad-minded and take the best thing from everywhere. That's why we have always said, Anu Bhadra Kritavo Yantu Vishvatum. Let knowledge flow to us from every side. That has been the greatness of this culture and of this tradition.
But when you have tried to teach Sudarshan Kriya to people who have nothing to do with the Hindu way of life, who've got nothing to do with yoga, haven't you and your teachers encountered this?
Oh,
you are
yeah,
trying to convert us. You are running a conversion.
No, we have faced many challenges. Not one. Even when I went to Ayodhya dispute, resolution of the dispute. Oh, I have many brickbats were coming from both sides. Many Hindus were opposed to it. Many Muslims were opposed.
आपका क्या है इसमें?
आपका इसमें क्या है? आप कहाँ से आ गए? So, when you are in a public work, when you are into anything that you believe is the right thing, or when you know it is the right thing to do, you don't care for what others comment for you. इसमें मान अपमान ये सब का कोई मायने नहीं रखता.
Is it so easy to let go of it and not get affected, Prabhu? Because ahem always comes into play, no? Ego comes into play. No?
When it comes to play, you don't know it is coming into play. But once you know it is coming into play, you don't get bothered about it at all. That is the power of wisdom.
Because when Krishna says aham sarvasya prabhavo, it's okay. We cannot think that aham sarvasya. Then it becomes the aham becomes different.
Why do you say that? You look into the Gyan aspect inside of you. Jivanam sarva bhutanam. What does Krishna say? I am the life in everybody.
Life in everybody.
So are you living? Are you live? Then you are him, you are part of him. So when the Deha Dhyasa thins down, becomes less and less and less, Atma Bhas becomes stronger. Then the Samarthya comes inside of. जब देह भाव क्षीण होने लगता है, हिंदी में अच्छा लगता है, आत्म भाव बढ़ता है, तभी तो हमने डिक्लेयर किया शिवोहम.
हाँ जी.
ये ऐसा नहीं है कि हम कोई कीड़े मुकोड़े नहीं हैं, हम सीना थान के बोलते हैं भाई, हम शिवोहम. ये हमारे में सामर्थ्य है. क्यों? हम वैराग्य में हैं और हम ज्ञान में. ज्ञान वैराग्य दोनों हमारे में मजबूत हो जाए, कोई भी चुनौती हम ले सकते हैं. और चुनौती करके नहीं लेते हैं, वो चुनौती लगती नहीं.
आपके लिए अच्छा एक प्रश्न मेरा निजी, आई हैव ट्राइड टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम इट. रामा एंड कृष्णा both are supposed to be upholders of dharma. But both have different.
completely opposite.
That is exactly why I questioned you, Prabhu.
Ram and Krishna's personality is poles apart.
Yes.
So that is the most interesting thing. See, even Parashuram,
Hmm.
Parashuram is considered an avatar.
Yes.
But if you look into Parashuram's life, it's
Yeah.
very stunning.
Yeah.
So, मैं कभी फिर इस पे गहराई से मैं बात करूँगा. But what I'm saying is, see, every avatar, everybody has lived on this planet and have shown something very unique. और वो सब हमारे साथ है, जीवन में है. उन सबको आत्मसात करके आगे बढ़ना.
But you would believe that all of them stood to uphold dharma,
Absolutely. और क्या?
despite the varying methods and polarities in their
नहीं तो
personalities.
इतने सारे आगम शास्त्र क्यों बनते हैं?
Hmm.
Why we have so many scriptures, so many Upanishads, and even Rig Veda, there are 21 shakhas of Rig Veda,
Yes.
101 shakhas of Yajurveda, 1000 shakhas of Samveda. So even Vedas are Anantavai Veda, so many of them are there. So that is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. There is place for everybody here.
Is Murti Puja okay?
As I said,
I'm coming back to that because many are saying this is being constantly attacked. It's been attacked. Oh, you're idol worshippers, idolatrism. You're pushing this. This is not supposed to be in modern society, today's world. You're not supposed to do it.
no, who can say that I don't need idol? Someone who has passed through that stage. You come out of there is a difference between one graduating out of school and a school dropout. A school dropout says, I have come out of the school, doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
But a graduate can say, yeah,
Huh.
I've come out of the school.
Come out of the school. So,
Yeah.
so the steps of graduation
Yeah.
have to be. My final two questions, Gurudev. One is with the kind of work that you are doing. You're present in over 180 countries, and something phenomenal happened. It was history created on American soil with the World Culture Congress. Are we going towards a more peaceful, sustainable Bhumi, or are we just going to witness so much more conflict? Even as we speak now, there are 3 or 4 wars going on.
Correct. Anand, the world history, recorded world history of 6,000 years, you know what it says? Only 268 years in the human history have been there without conflicts.
Without conflict.
So if we have a few days in between here and there, we are lucky, I tell you. Conflict is part of the world. And our nature is to see, calm it down, douse the fire. That's our nature. And we should continue to do it. See the World Culture Festival we had in the National Mall.
Ji.
It was though it's a cultural and spiritual event, 1.1 million people sat together, meditated 3 days,
Wow.
did yoga. It was first time in the American history that so many people congregated there. For India, million people is not much.
But collective conscience, does that help?
Definitely, it helped. You know what happened? That 1 week there was no homicide in the whole of Washington DC.
Wow.
Every day there used to be 2-3 killings there. In those 1 week there was no homicide, and the police were surprised by that. And they said, we have never witnessed a program that's so peaceful, where we had nothing to do. So that's the power of meditation. It can reform people, it can uplift the spirit. And more of that is necessary. I'm glad that our Home Minister introduced in India, Ghar Ghar Dhyan.
Yeah, Ghar Ghar Dhyan. Yeah.
This is really caring for people. घर घर में इतना क्लेश है, मानसिक तनाव है, उसको दूर करने के लिए, which country really looks after that everybody should prevent mental illness? Tell me. So we have certain very good things in this country that we need to pay attention to. Of course, there are a lot of issues. I'm not saying it's all rosy. There are issues. which we need to keep attending to. World also same thing, conflicts keep rising, but we also see on the other side the good things are also happening.
How are you able to keep politics outside of the spiritual realm, especially when events like 22nd January are going to happen? Everybody says it's all to just, polarize votes for May 2024. My final question is, what should people do on the 22nd of January, and how are you able to keep these two aspects separate?
See, 22nd January, Sri Ram Lala Pran Pratishtha is happening. It's a moment of celebration. Actually, people were in a mood to celebrate when the judgment came at that time itself. And it is the wisdom of this country, the government and our Prime Minister, to not to let that fire come along, and which would obviously would have hurt others. So people have been holding this wish to celebrate for so long, and now is the chance. 22nd January, now unleash that pressure that you have been holding in order to celebrate. There are 11 lakh Ram temple in this country.
Yes, Prabhu.
I said this, when the judgment comes, if it has come amicably with everybody's approval, we should have a grand celebration everywhere. And it's very wise that now that celebration is happening, and also they have been called for cleaning the temple. This is also an occasion
the Safai Abhiyan.
to Safai Abhiyan. Temple should be clean. Every temple should be clean, and it's happening good. So I would say everyone should celebrate. Keep aside the politics for a little while. Later on you can take it. It's going to come anyway after a few months. But now be united. Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Jains, everybody should come together, the whole world, because it's a moment of celebration after 500 years.
True.
Yeah?
Sarva Dharma Samabhava. That's why the magic of art of living. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great conversation, Gurudev. Thank you
Very
so much,
good.
Gurudev.